All right, let's talk about a T20 World Cup semifinal that was, it felt less like a cricket match and more like something straight out of a Hollywood script. We're talking India versus England, a clash that didn't just break records, it absolutely shattered them, defied all expectations, and went right down to the wire. So yeah, let's dive right in. So get this, in just 40 overs, these two teams managed to pile on, wait for it, 499 runs. That is just mind-bending. This wasn't just batting, It was an all-out assault, with the ball flying to the boundary a record 73 times. Just insane. But here's the crazy part. After all of that chaos, all those boundaries, the entire contest was decided by just 7 runs. 7! It's that tiny, tiny margin that took a high-scoring game and turned it into an absolute nail-biting classic that came down to the very last ball. Okay, so to really get why this was so tense, you've got to understand the backstory here. This wasn't just any semifinal. No way. This was a proper clash of titans, and these two have a serious history of high-stakes showdowns. That's right. Believe it or not, this was their 3rd consecutive semifinal showdown. And, just to crank up the drama a little more, in the last 2 tournaments, whoever won this exact match, they went on to win the whole thing. So, yeah, the stakes were pretty immense. And both teams were coming into this clash absolutely flying. India had been this unstoppable juggernaut, right? Undefeated all the way through the group stages. England, on the other hand, kind of stumbled out of the gates with a nervous start. But then they found their rhythm and just ripped off 3 straight wins to book their spot in Mumbai. Both teams were red hot. So, India gets put into bat first, and their entire innings really can be boiled down to one absolutely crucial moment. Just a single mistake out there in the field that completely, and I mean completely, changed where this game was headed. And you don't have to take my word for it. England's own Harry Brook pretty much summed it up perfectly. It was early, just the 3rd over, and he dropped what looked like a routine catch. And in doing so, he gave one of India's most destructive hitters a totally unexpected second life. And right here, you can see just how unbelievably costly that one mistake was. Before that drop, Sanju Samson was just ticking along on 15. Afterwards, boom, he just exploded, piling on another 74 runs. England gave him a second chance, and boy, did he make them pay for every single run. Samson's blistering 89 off just 42 balls really set the foundation. But believe me, he wasn't alone. You had these quick-fire knocks from Kishan, Dubey, and Pandya, and altogether they powered India to a colossal 253. That is the highest ever total in a T20 World Cup semifinal. Just massive. Now, chasing a record target like that, most teams would just fold, right? Game over. But England, well, they had a young star named Bethell, and he was about to deliver an innings for the ages and give India a very, very serious scare. The guy is just 22 years old. He walks out to bat with his team under this crushing, immense pressure. And what he did next, it was just breathtaking. A completely fearless display of power hitting that left pretty much everyone watching stunned. And his assault was just relentless. He absolutely raced to 50, kept his foot on the gas, and then reached a stunning century from only 45 balls. His final score of 105 from 48 deliveries, he almost single-handedly dragged England back from the absolute brink. So, with the game just hanging in the balance, it wasn't another massive 6 that decided it. Nope. It came down to these incredible moments of fielding genius and some ice-cool bowling right when the pressure was at its peak. Yeah, in a match that was totally dominated by the batsmen, the tide finally turned because of spectacular plays in the field. Ultimately, it was India's athleticism and their nerve that made all the difference. Just look at this incredible relay catch that got Will Jacks out. You've got Bethell sprinting along the boundary rope. He grabs the ball, and then, knowing his momentum is going to carry him over, he has the presence of mind to just flick it back to Shivam Dubey. What a breathtaking piece of teamwork. And then came the bowling. Okay, so England needs 45 from the final 3 overs, and Jasprit Bumrah gets the ball. England had just taken 15 from the 17th over, and he delivers an absolute masterclass, giving up just 6 runs in the 18th. He basically squeezed the life right out of their chase. This right here is what we call death bowling, and it's where legends are made. It's not just about skill, it's about being able to execute perfectly when you're under the most intense pressure imaginable. And Bumrah's ability to nail his Yorkers and change his pace when the game is on the line, well, that's what makes him arguably the best in the world. And then the final blow, the final nail in the coffin. It came on the very first ball of the last over. Bethell, England's hero, gets run out by a brilliant piece of fielding from Hardik Pandya, a perfect direct hit from the deep that just ended England's hopes for good. You know, this match wasn't just an instant classic on the field. It also made history off the field, leaving a legacy that goes way beyond the boundary rope. Get ready for this number. At its peak, this match pulled in a staggering 65.2 million concurrent viewers just on digital platforms alone. That is a number that rivals the biggest global sporting finals in the world. And let me be clear, this wasn't just a record for cricket. This was a brand new world record for the highest digital viewership for any live event, ever. It just goes to show you the incredible power and pull of a contest like this one. So here it is, the final scorecard. It tells the story of two truly heroic innings, but with India just, and I mean just, edging out England to book their spot in the T20 World Cup final. And of course, Samson deservedly took home player of the match for that unbelievable game-changing knock. You know, it's a match like this that really makes you wonder, what is it that elevates a great player to an all-time great? Is it skill? Is it temperament? Or is it that incredible ability to perform when the pressure is at its absolute breaking point peak? I think I'll just leave you with this really powerful quote from the English cricket legend Stuart Broad talking about Jasprit Bumrah. After a match where almost 500 runs were smashed around the park, it was a bowler who many believe was the one who really decided the outcome. And maybe that's the answer right there.